How much income would a 1 million retirement portfolio bring you? For many individuals, $1 million used to be the barometer of riches. You'd be considered wealthy at that moment. Millionaires buy gorgeous mansions, drive expensive vehicles, and work as high-paid executives or business owners, right? This may have been true 40, 50, or 60 years ago, but $1 million now does not have the same purchasing power as it did then. Most poor individuals are startled to learn that being a millionaire does not automatically imply being wealthy or financially independent. It may appear to be a large sum of money, but how much cash flow does $1 million generate? Will it be sufficient to fund your retirement? Examine what kind of lifestyle you can expect with a $1 million savings account, and whether it will be as opulent as it is generally portrayed. Fortune Fastlane teaches people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you want to improve your financial future, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you found this video useful. It's all too simple to look at a portfolio's annual results and conclude that it's safe to remove those profits for retirement expenditures. Isn't it true that if $1 million in investments earns 12% or $120,000 in a year, you could just take that money and spend it? The portfolio might then return 8% of the following year, in which case you'd received $80,000 from that investment. This might work, but the difficulty is that stock market returns vary greatly from year to year. For example, the S&P 500 returned a dismal -6% in 2018, resulting in a $60,000 loss that won't leave much in a way of spending. The S&P 500 returned over 29% in 2019, making it a rewarding year for investors. Still, there's a chance that we'll witness years of immobility. Apart from the fact that market returns fluctuate greatly year to year, the primary issue with thinking it's safe to withdraw your whole annual earnings is that it ignores inflation. Inflation will diminish the value of $1 million over time. Given the S&P 500's average annual return of 10%, estimate that your first year in retirement will net you $100,000. For the first year, that's a really good sum. Fast forward 30 years and the $1 million has lost virtually all of its value. While it is still technically worth $1 million and yields an average of $100,000 in annual earnings, it no longer has nearly as much purchasing power as it once had. Assuming a 3% annual inflation rate, the purchasing power of that money would be diminished in half in just 24 years. There are differing viewpoints on how much money you should withdraw from your investments each year. You could theoretically withdraw the profits, but that strategy isn't sustainable for the reasons stated. Due to market instability, some people propose merely withdrawing 3% every year. Others argue that 5% is a safe bet because there hasn't been a prolonged bear market in a while now. As a rule of thumb, a withdrawal rate of 4% should be regarded safe. This is not to be confused with the portfolio's total returns. This is the withdrawal rate only. This implies you can remove 4% of your portfolio in your first year of retirement, with inflation adjustments every year after that. You would take out $40,000 in the first year. If the cost of living increases by 3%, you could withdraw $41,200 that year, $41,200 the next year, and so on for the next 30 years, with a near 0% probability of running out of money. The 4% rule is based on a number of criteria. For starters, it's based on someone's portfolio consisting of 50% equities and 50% bonds, which is fairly conservative. One of the most conservative investors, Dave Ramsey, advises consumers to put 100% of their money in growth stock funds with no bond allocation. Bonds, he maintains, are probably just as hazardous as stocks, but with far smaller returns. Everyone's portfolio composition preferences are different, but as you get older, it's recommended that you have greater bond exposure and less stock exposure. Your average returns and risk will be higher if you have a bigger equity allocation. Second, this 4% withdrawal rate is calculated over the course of a 30-year retirement. In other words, if you want to retire in your 30s or 40s, 4% may be too excessive, and your money may run out in the future. If you aim to retire for 30 years, This strategy ensures that you will never run out of money. The difficulty with the 30-year withdrawal period is that no one knows how long they will live. You'd be able to budget each dollar and know exactly how much you could spend if you knew the exact day. Some people claim they want to spend all of their money because they want to savor it, or that you won't be able to take it with you when you die. So why not enjoy it while you're still alive? That's a terrific idea. But the trouble is that you never know how long you'll live, which is why you should be cautious about how much you spend. According to the Social Security Administration, a 65-year remaining old's life expectancy is less than 30 years. That is, however, only an average, and investors should budget for a long retirement. You don't want to become broke by cutting it too loose. The risk of running out of money must be managed carefully. You should think about your health and genetics, as well as a rough estimate of how long you anticipate you will live. If you're retired or over the age of 65, your planning horizon may be shorter than the typical 30 years. It's vital to remember that the average life expectancy has increased by around 5% in the last 30 years. If you anticipate to be retired for more than 30 years, 4% may be too much to remove. The amount of your Social Security payment is determined by your retirement age, the length of time you've contributed to the program, and your taxable income over the years. If someone retires at the age of 62, they will earn significantly less money per month than someone who retires at the age of 65, 67, or 70. The average annual Social Security benefit is around $18,000 per individual. If you add it to your 4% portfolio withdrawal, you'll have $58,000 in annual income. If you're married, though, your Social Security payment will be doubled, bringing your total annual income to $76,000. Given that the average family income in the United States in 2020 was $68,000, this is a reasonable sum for many retirees. Taxes range greatly for different people, and the amount you save is largely determined by the sort of retirement account you utilize. A classic IRA or 401k is the most common, and distributions are taxed as regular income. The taxes on a Roth IRA have already been paid at the time the contributions are made. As a result, distributions will be completely tax-free. Many people, however, have many accounts, such as a brokerage account, 401k, IRA, and Roth IRA, making it difficult to compute taxes precisely. In addition, whether you live in a state with an income tax, your filing status, and of course, your income bracket will all play a role. To estimate your tax liability, examine what kind of accounts you have in your estimated tax bracket, as well as consulting a CPA. In general, a $1 million portfolio with 50% equities and 50% bonds will generate $40,000 in annual income. This safe withdrawal rate varies depending on the makeup of your portfolio, the number of years you want to retire, and a number of other factors. When you factor in the average annual Social Security payout of $18,000, your total annual income before taxes is $58,000 for an individual and $76,000 for a couple. Use this as a starting point and make adjustments to account for the numerous variations that each person may encounter. Remember that withdrawing a portfolio's full earnings is unsustainable, as inflation would inevitably lower the underlying worth of $1 million. Due to the uncertainty of retirement, it's a good idea to be conservative when predicting your money. That's it for this video, Fortune Fastlaner. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you feel like we've delivered value, please share this video with one person. That's right, just one person, as a token of your appreciation for the hard work we put into making content that educates and helps you on your mission of building your own fortune. Remember, you can watch video after video, but it isn't until you actually take action that you'll start to see results. See you soon.